Hello guys, welcome to our car lease deals of the month for February. As you know, this is only number 2 in our series. We look to find you the best car leasing deals available in the UK on a monthly basis, and we look for some very specific categories. So we'll go over the rules in a second because everyone loves some rules. But we've got some great cars for you this month, and you won't believe the price of some of them. So stay tuned and we'll jump right in. Okay, so let's go to the rules. So for this, the car has to be on a 3+35 deal. So that means you have the car for 3 years, and if you've got any sense, you send it back a day before it finishes so that you don't have to MOT the car when it goes back. For the first 3 years, you've obviously got the manufacturer's warranty, which is great. So you've got more or less hassle-free motoring. You do have to get the car serviced at the dealer, so bear that in mind. And it's 3 months deposit, so it's just 3 monthly payments up front, followed by 35 payments. Okay, so hopefully that's a... Oh, and sorry, one of the other key things I haven't mentioned is that it's based on 10,000 miles a year. The reason we've chosen those parameters is seems like a very reasonable way to get into the car for most people in the UK. So you've got 3 months up front, which, if you can't afford 3 months up front, you probably can't afford the monthly payments. 10,000 miles a year, which is a fairly reasonable amount of miles for most people. And you've got the car for that warranty period. So hopefully it's sort of a good middle road, best of all roads kind of solution. And then we're going to look at some specific categories of car. We're going to look at the kind of city car, super mini kind of thing, family hatchback, crossover SUV. We've got the midlife crisis car, then we've got the executive, and then finally we have the Wildcard. They're not always super wild, but something that doesn't fit one of the other categories. Sometimes it's going to be something completely outlandish, sometimes something completely practical. As I said before, we've got some brilliant deals this month, so stay tuned and off we go. Okay, hopefully you can all see that okay, not too much of my fat head in the corner of the screen. Okay, so for the super mini city car, or the super city car as we call it, we're going for a Fiesta. I think it's the most popular car in the UK, so it'd be silly of us not to have it here, but this one's really quite a nice spec. So it's the 1 litre EcoBoost hybrid, and it's a mild hybrid, so that means you don't have to plug it in. So it's kind of dealing with the hybrid thing itself, much like a Prius does. 125 horsepower, and it's the ST line edition. So it's going to look quite nice. You know, it's a bit sportier looking than your average Fiesta. That one is a £21,000 car, all bar the shouting. Obviously your road tax is included because it's a lease. Your road tax is always included. So 3 months up front and 35 monthly payments of 190 quid. So £770 is your deposit, and then £190 a month. Great deal, great car. Enough said, on to the next. Right, so this one's the Seat Leon. Okay, this is the hatchback version. If you don't know too much about Seat, it's a Spanish brand, but it's essentially VW Audi group. So the Leon is built on the same underpinnings as the Golf, the A3, etc. So fantastic car, shares the running gear with those other cars, and you just find different kind of little interior touches and things. You'll find a very familiar steering wheel and stuff like that if you've ever had a VW or an Audi. So yeah, it's just a different brand of VW Audi group. Skoda obviously is another one as well. They're very good cars, and they often represent fantastic value for money. So this one here is the 1.5 TSI. That's one of my favourite VW Audi group engines. Very revvy, gets you down the road nice and quickly, but it's still quite decent on petrol. It's just like a fun engine to drive, if that makes any sense whatsoever. This one's a £23,500 car, 0 to 60 in 9.4 seconds, LED headlights, etc. Metallic paint, climate control, parking sensors, park assist, It's quite a nice spec car, this one. The FR is slightly up the range, I think, for Seat. So on this one, we're looking at £629 down. You've got £198 processing fee as well. But £629 down, so if you put those together, sort of £830 as your initial payment, and then £209 a month, £210 a month. £210 a month for a brand new £23,500 car. Okay, for the crossover SUV, I've gone a bit wild on this one. We're actually looking at something with the Land Rover badge on it, so you wouldn't expect that probably to feature in one of my videos. But here we go. So it's the Discovery Sport, which is a very, very popular car. Great for a family. In fact, good even for a bigger family. You've got a big dog or something as well. Everyone loves a Land Rover, don't they? This one's 34 grand if you were to buy it new. 0-60 and 10.4 diesel engine. It's a big car with a workman-like diesel in it, so it's not going to set the road on fire with its 0-60, but 10.4 is more than respectable. You've got Bluetooth, cruise control, sat nav. And so it's the diesel, 165 horsepower. It's a two-wheel drive version, not the four-wheel drive. Okay. And on this one, you're looking, with the processing fee, you're looking about £13,500 down, and then £385 a month. I think if you looked at a second-hand Discovery Sport, maybe 3-year-old one, you would not get finance on that for £385 a month. So it just jumped out to me as a good deal. £385 a month is a lot of money, but to be sitting in a brand new Discovery Sport, I think is actually a bit of a bargain. So that's why I've gone for it on this one. Okay, now we're on to the midlife crisis car. We've got a proper midlife crisis car this month. We've got the Audi TT Coupe. It's the 45 TFSI Sport S-Tronic with the tech pack on it. This is an amazing deal, and I mean, people call them hairdressers cars and stuff. Well, obviously with my alopecia going on, I'm not too much in need of a hairdresser, so I'm not one to comment. But they're absolutely brilliant cars. I don't know anyone that's driven a TT that hasn't loved it. I mean, they're just absolutely brilliant little cars. 0-60 in 5.8 seconds on this. I mean, that's proper. It's not too many years ago. That would be Ferrari speed. Obviously, things have moved on leaps and bounds in the last sort of 10 years, but honestly, not too long ago, 0-60 in 5.8 would have been supercar speed. £37,000 car. Heated seats, Bluetooth, leather, DAB, cruise control. So it's fairly well spec'd. It's only your sport level, so there are obviously higher spec levels available in Audi, but I mean, that's going to be everything you're going to need. £1,250 down, including the processing fee, and £348 a month. It's a £37,000 car. I just think it speaks for itself. I'm actually considering a midlife crisis now. I found this deal. I mean, that's great. That properly excites me. Okay, back to reality. We're going to look at the executive car now, and we've got one of the more popular German beasts this month. We've got the 5 Series. Not just any 5 Series. So it's the 520D mild hybrid M Sport. And it's automatic, obviously, as you'd expect in this kind of car. That one's coming in at sort of £1,650 down, and £413 a month. And the cost of that car, if you were to buy it, is 43.5 grand. I've driven quite a few of these, and they're just a nice place to be. Very refined, get down the road very nicely. Just a great proper car. You feel like you've made it when you're sitting in one of these, even if you rent one for a couple of days. So it's not a cheap car by any means, but for a brand new 43 grand car, I think that's fairly decent value. I don't think anyone can grumble with that too much. So that's a very, very nice car. Okay, on to the next. This is the Wildcard. And as I said, this is not always too wild. It could be something insanely practical, something extremely exciting. This week it's practical. So we've got the Citroen Grand C4 Spacetourer. It's what used to be the what was it, the Grand Picasso. Again, I've had one of these for a week when my car was in undergoing some a little bit of maintenance after I filled up a diesel car with petrol, but we don't like to talk about that too much. £28,000 the on the road price, 0 to 60 in 9.8, which for a big beast like this is fairly decent. Manual gearbox, parking sensors, Bluetooth, alloys. You've got the digital dash on these. They are absolutely cavernous. I mean, there are little nooks and crannies to store things everywhere. You've got the 7 seats in it. The 2 in the back kind of fold down if you don't need to use them. The boot is absolutely ginormous. And if you were to fold the seats flat, I mean, it's a van. It's a very, very sizable interior. And yeah, it's as a family car goes, you can't go wrong with one of these things. And with a Citroen, with any of the French brands, I don't know why, but I like to have one new with warranty on it rather than get a second-hand one. This is the 1.2 petrol, 130 horsepower. So it's just a tiny little engine, and it pulls this massive thing along the road, and 0 to 60 of under 10. And it's great. We're looking at £928 up front, and then £242 a month for a £28,000 car. If you're in the market for like a 7-seat or even just a massive estate car, have a look at some of the reviews of this on YouTube. You'll find some of the best car reviews on YouTube, on CarWow, Car Buyer, What Car Do Some. You get a chance to see all the little nooks and crannies of the car and look at some of the spec and the interior and stuff that you don't really get to appreciate in a magazine interview. Magazine review. You actually get to see it, and you see someone feeling and touching all the interior bits and everything else. So yeah, I would definitely recommend CarWow and Car Buyer, and the What Car reviews on YouTube. But yeah, if you're in the market for a large family estate or an SUV even, and you need space to put all the kids and the dogs and stuff like that, you know, you could do a lot worse than one of these things at £240 a month. Wow. I mean, it's a great deal, really great deal. The other thing with these is that in the back you've got 3 proper seats. So that middle row of seats are 3 individual seats. That means you can get 3 car seats in. Often, obviously, if you've got 2 child seats in a car, the one in the middle is about that big, and you know, you can kind of, if you go sideways, and you might be able to get someone in there for about 10 minutes before they lose all feeling below the waist. With this, that's not a problem. You've got those 3 proper seats. Okay, so that's the Wildcard. That's it for this month, guys. Leave your comments below. Last month was really popular, actually. I got some really good feedback, and I love that. I really appreciate it if you could take just a minute to press the thumbs up button. And if you like this content, and the channel's usually about helping people with personal finance, helping them save money, helping them find good deals on different things, maybe helping them with their business and business finance and that kind of stuff. If you're interested in all that kind of stuff, and obviously the cars, please subscribe as well, because I hope you'll like some of our content. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.